Hey, Hero Burrow fans, this is Todd. Sorry, just running around trying to get things all ready. And let me go ahead and find the video on here so I can see your guys' comments. So hold on a second. And there it is. Hey, Master Far, thanks for joining us. I see you on there. And if anybody else is on here, go and sound off. Black Phoenix 77, thanks for joining us. Let me check my audio. That sounds good. Just had to reset my internet too, so kind of running behind the 8-ball a little bit. So I just got this Shira in the mail today, and I was looking at her, and it's like, hey, she looks a little different. And I noticed some things right off the bat that I saw that were different, and I thought, you know what? It's time to do a comparison video. So I went ahead and this is the new one. As you can see, it says fan favorite at the top. Fan favorite, fan favorite. And this is the new for 2021. So that's how I can tell the difference of which one you have. So there you go. So there is the two Shiras. And we also got another Shira that we got. It was a special edition one, which is so cool. And this one here, I believe it was it PowerCon or Comic-Con? I don't remember where we got this one from. But she actually has rooted hair. The rooted hair. And so you can see her fuzzy hair there. I kind of wish they would have done a non-special edition. This is the 35th anniversary one. And you can see she's sporting the lighter gold colors and stuff because obviously she is just like the other one, basically, with a different head. All right, let's go and put her back in the box. And let's keep going with this video between the two. All right, so our two Shiras. So I'm not going to open this one. I have one out of the box right here, and you can see it's the exact same one. Let me just check the eyes really quick. So I heard they had two different releases of eyes. And these eyes. She is slightly different. But not enough to write home about. Yeah, she doesn't have the eyelashes, I think, was what the change was. Neither one of them have that. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up and check it out. Hey, Waldo. D. Griff, thanks for joining us. Rick, thanks for being here. Hey, Hunter Man 1216, thanks for being here. Hunter Man gives me the peace sign. First thought it was a bunny rabbit. Tom Davis says the retro packaging is awesome in the PowerCon one. Yes. The packaging is cool. I've been tempted to go in and fix the knees of that one, but then it's like, why? Then I'm kind of taken away from what it was aesthetically. So I'm going to go and set this one aside, and let's open up this new one. But let's check out the back of the box first on both of these two while we're at it. I guess we should check that out too. So they have 6 figures on this one, and only 4 figures on this one, which I believe these 4 are the 4 fan favorites, right? If I'm not mistaken. So there they are. So I'm guessing, let me double check. Yeah. So I'm guessing, are we going to get Triclops and Zodak re-released too? Is that what's going on here? Interesting. All right. And you can see it shows her with her 2 different masks, the way she can wear them either up as on her eyes or on like a bow on her head, which was kind of a cool feature back in the 80s, is you could pop this off and stick it around on her head and turn it over, and now you got like a mask. The mask. She's at a masquerade. Or you can turn it over and have it like a bow on her head. Now this has always reminded me of some kind of one of those little rings you find on top of your cupcakes. So that's kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and put on her shield and her sword. The sword of protection. There we go. Oh. All right. So I'm going to set this one aside. That's going to look at the fan art. Not the fan art, but the card art too while we're at it. And the card art here. So a lot of stuff's the same. The back's different. Oh, weird. This one right here has the new knees. So it's supposed to be an updated one to begin with. So this is actually not the very, very first one. This is actually more like a second release one. So this one was a first release. And I swapped out her knees. You can see they're a different shade of color. Because this is actually the Sorceress's upper legs and Shira's bottom legs. So that's funny. And then I have, of course, my custom favorite one, which is the new knees completely. So this one is more like the one in the box, except for she has new accessories and stuff. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and bust her open. Bust her open, man. Thanks, Jeff. Ugh. Well, she does come with a brand new comic. And let's see what her separation points are. Her head, her arms, her waist, and her boots. There we go. And right here it has a little note. Mix. Okay. I thought this was telling you to mix the parts for fun. I guess up here it says that though. It says, wow, there we go. Remove and swap parts. So, hooray. I think I've seen this comic before. Yeah, we've seen this one before. It's funny. Look how long her sword is in this picture here. See, if they would have gave us a sword like that, that would have been way cool. Okay, let's go ahead and close the book on that. And put the box on the floor and finish taking her out of her packaging. So she has her shield and her sword. Oh no, tape. Not the tape. Now, I don't remember, but I don't think my original Shira had tape on her cape. I knew that all the Masterverse figures were doing this, but I don't remember seeing Shira with tape on her cape. I don't recall. You guys have to tell me if she had tape on her cape originally. The other one. I guess I could take a look and see if I can see it in there. Hold on a second. Okay. Time to inspect. Oh yeah. She does have tape on her cape. No, if you can see that or not. It's kind of hard to see through all the plastic, but you can kind of see that the cape's kind of held out a little bit. And there is a slight thing of tape. So yes, I guess I was wrong. Even the other one had tape on the cape, which means I'm probably not going to keep her in the box, because keeping her in the box in the future she'll be ruined from that tape. So I'll probably be having to open her up anyway. All right, let's get back to the new Shira. And so first off, the first thing I noticed, which probably is the most obvious, is the gold. Look at the gold. It's two different colors. This is more yellow gold. This is more orange gold. So you can kind of see the difference. Now this gold, even though it's orangish, it does look a little more shiny, but I can't tell. Now on her shiny parts, they actually changed the sticker. Now this is more reminiscent of the original Shira, but they made this much smaller, finer detail shininess. And again, they went with the gold instead of the yellow. They did the same thing for her sticker on her top. Now, I actually liked how it looked like the old one, but this does look not as cheap to my mind for some reason. I don't know why. even though it is still the little ring you find in your cupcakes. All right, let's check out the faces. Again, this is first release, second release, or fan favorite release. Okay, she does have the eyelashes. And she does not. Wow. Okay, the new Shira head looks way better. These eyes look like she, something scared her. And this one just looks so much better. That's crazy. Way better. So I do like the new head a whole lot. All right, let's take a look at the shield. Again, they went with the gold instead of the yellow. And the sword, same thing. It's more gold color than yellow. So just a few updates they did. Let's check out the cape and see if it's a different... Okay, so this cape does feel a little bit thicker than this cape here. This cape's a lot thinner. You know what? I'm going to grab my calipers and measure how thick these capes are. I'll be right back. I should have had them ahead of time. If you want, you guys can look at Shira's bumpkin while I am gone. And I'll be right back with some calipers. All right, so I don't think his calipers are going to be accurate enough to measure just one thickness of the cloth. So I'm going to fold it over. That way I can get two of them together and see. So let's go ahead and fold this one over first and see if we can't see how thick this is. Again, if I had a micrometer, it'd be better. So we're looking at 0.5 millimeters. And let's go ahead and try to fold this one over. This one does feel silkier though. So the first one feels silkier. Oh, it's also 0.5. Interesting. So it's not thinner or thicker, but it does feel lighter. It might just be thinner if you can't tell the difference. I mean, look at the threading of this versus the threading of this one. If you could see the difference or not. This one's more coarse. This one's more fine. So these ridges made it feel thicker. All right. And then, of course, her hair color. They could have probably changed it a little bit. Done something different, but that's okay. Yep, still just as rubbery. So there you go. Those are the differences. Now, of course, she is sporting the new knees. So that's cool, too. Let's check out her skin tone. See if that's different. Her skin tone is slightly different too. This one's a little more less color richness to it. This one has a little bit more color to it. So there you go. So Shira's a little bit more washed out in the new version. This one has a little bit more tone or color to her skin. I do like the more tone better personally, but I do like the way her face paint is on the new one way better. All right, let's look at your guys' comments. Let's see. I liked a little more the natural hair color. Yes, that would be good if they would have gone a little more with the natural hair color instead of just this bright yellow. Looks like frosting from a zinger. It's so yellow. It's Hostess Zinger's frosting, or Dolly Madison, whichever you remember most. I'm not sure if I'm digging the gold or not. I haven't decided yet. I have not decided which way I'm going to go because I'm probably going to update my custom here with one of these two bodies. You know what? Let me look at the custom again. Look at the face on here. Oh, wow. My custom already has the new eyes. Look at that. So this one was the very first release with the scared eyes. This was the second release because you can see that she has the newer paint job. And this is the fan favorite third release. So I was going to steal the head and put it on, but this one has the richer tone of skin, and this one has the whiter skin. So, interesting. Actually, I like the head of the one I already have on there the best. Cape tape. The Horde must have done this. Ah! I hope we get a Filmation style Shira in Origins. Yes, that would be cool. So I do want to talk about other accessories for your Shira, because obviously this little sword is just ridiculous. It's so small. I mean, imagine putting the sword in a male figure's hands. Look how this looks. Okay. He-Man, come here. It's time for you to hold the sword of protection. And see, it looks like a little dagger in his hands. Oh, it's the Dagobah sword. I mean, it just looks ridiculous. And I don't know why they didn't give her a full-size sword, because her hand is the same size hand as the male figures. So as you guys know, I did make a full-size Shira sword. It's a custom. It's the exact same as my He-Man sword that I made. And it's cool too because the crystals actually see through. Let's see if I can get this to focus correctly. Of course, the ring light's messing it all up. So you can see the king and queen through there. It's not gonna... It's hard to see because of all the lighting here. You can see my hand through there. Whoop, 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 whoop. Anyway, I'll stop showing off my cool sword because I'm not making any more of them. And if you want a cool sword, though, look at this cool sword you can get. Ooh. You're asking yourself, Hebrew, where do I get a cool sword like that? I will show you where to go get a cool sword like this. This is from the Super 7 Shira set, which I'm going to be selling 2 of them on eBay hopefully soon. It comes with this Shira right here. And it doesn't fit in their hands right at first. You have to add a heat shrink tubing to it. As you can see, I added a small clear heat shrink tubing to the end of this. And what's crazy is this figure comes with 2 swords that are the exact same size. One with the crystal in the middle and one without. So you can actually get a He-Man and a Shira sword the exact same size by buying this Super 7 Shira figure. And she also comes with this cool shield that matches the whole aesthetic too. So you want to go with the gray look. It does look pretty cool. Look at that. Without having to spend a fortune. And it's funny, I've actually bought extra Shiras like this just to steal their swords and shields to use from other figures. All right. So that is my Shira wrap-up. Now, before I go, how much is the hair version? Oh, Jack Sparrow. The hair version's quite a bit on eBay. Because it was a I don't know if it's PowerCon or Comic-Con release, but it was kind of spendy. So I've been working on my stop motion, getting it ready, and I made this thing right here. Check this out. This is supposed to be that machine that reads people's brains. All the lights in here, this looks dim. Hold on a second. Let me clean off the screen. I did not realize it was going to look so dim with all the lights off. Let me make sure it's up all the way for brightness. Settings. Display. Brightness. Oh, it's all the way up. It's funny, in the other room it looks really cool because it looks so bright, but in here it does not look as cool and bright. All these lights. Okay. Lights off. I can see now I'm going to have to change my lighting to make this thing work right. Anyway, it does look cool in person. Just these bright lights just throw it way off. But anyway, this is my device that I was working on and making today. Basically just an MP3 player. I made a shell for it. And it's pretty cool. Anyway. I will turn it off. You guys will see more of it during my stop motion video once I figure out the lighting to make it work right. Lights on. Oh, bright light. Bright light. You get text messages on that. It's just a little MP3 player that I got, that's all. I don't actually hooked up to anything. I actually bought a bunch of them so I could use them for different computers. And so eventually I'll make a new Grayskull computer that uses the same piece in it. Hey, Masterverse Toy Hunter. Thanks for joining us. Yes, they should have made a Queen Marlena for our Origins figures. That'd have been really cool. All right. Anyway, I think that is the end of this video. I did get some other cool figures too. Ooh, Crystar. That's going to be really cool to open him. I can't wait to open him up. I wish they would have made his bad guy too and some other figures in the line, but I'm happy with this for right now, and we will open him up and have a video just for him soon. He does look cool. Let's see. Jeff says Filmation King and Queen coming 2024. He can feel it. I can feel it. It's got to be coming soon. And I think that's all that I got. Adora, you're sleeping on the job. Yeah, this should have gave us an Adora Origins figure too. I just can't know how small this sword looks in his hand. It just looks ridiculous. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It just cracks me every time I see the small sword in his hand. Where is the other one? There it is. Looks like those little ninja swords if they had little sharper blades here. Oh! Teenage Mutant Ninja He-Man. Oh, the Super 7 Shira. The Super 7 Shira, she does go pretty inexpensive sometimes on eBay. You can find her a pretty good price. Like I said, I plan on selling 2 of them on eBay soon. I have them sitting, waiting for me to take pictures and stick them on there. I just haven't got around to it. So eventually I'll be putting her on there. I did donate 2 of these, though, to Toys for Tots this year. Because like I said, I bought a bunch of these. They had them on sale at Big Bad Toy Store. And I just bought a ton of them because I wanted for the short swords and shields. And it's like, you know what? Then I went and made my own. And it's like, never mind. So let me see if I can show you the He-Man sword that's in the box too. Oh yeah, here's my custom He-Man sword so you can see how they are the same. It's just so crazy. Got so many of these swords that I've made, and there it is. Is that the one? No, that's not the one. It's 2 different sizes. Never mind. It does look like it though. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe the He-Man sword is a little bigger. Oh, you know what? It is. It is. I thought it was the same size, just the same design. Okay, let me keep looking. You know, maybe not, because hair... No, it's the half sword that comes with He-Man. I'm digging in my pile of stuff. Oh! That's not a sword. Still got the He-Man armor. What the heck? Here's my metal one. Oh, I do have another Shira sword. Look at that. Bing! Oh, where did that sword go? There it is. So it was funny. The other day my grandson was over playing. He brought his own Castle Grayskull over. And he wanted a sword for the castle. And so I went upstairs and I found him a really cool sword and brought it down. And he goes, "No, Grandpa, I want the one that breaks in half that has two swords that becomes one." So he wanted this sword instead of... So I had to go hunt one of these down because these are becoming far and few between to find. And he actually likes the idea of Skeletor having his half and He-Man having his half. He has to put them together to open the Castle Grayskull. So that was kind of cool. He did not want the solid sword. He wanted the two halves. Well, I can't find another sword. That must be it. Could have sworn I had one, though, that had the heat shrink tubing already on it for He-Man, but I'll have to find it some other video some other time. Is it wrong if I love the Trollians from Masters of the Universe? Master Far, no, it's fine. There are some figures and things that I like too that it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, for instance, Stinkor is one of my favorites for some reason sometimes. And I know other people are like, Stinkor? And even my top 11. I mean, Ram Man is in my top 11. And he's like, you know, the cheapest plastic figure they made. And so it's kind of funny, the figures we cling to and like. And it's okay. I mean, it may be that in your childhood you had some sort of affinity towards Orko. And that's fine. So yeah, that's what's so cool about Masters of the Universe. We can all like different things completely and still enjoy the same property. I mean, heck, there are probably people out there that love the Mighty Spector, and that's okay too, you know, which is why I really like Masters of the Universe, because it's such a huge property and so many things that you can, you know, and it sounds funny, but I like the idea of mixing it with other properties. And some people are like, "What? You mix it? You're ruining it. You're ruining it." And I think, you know, it's kind of cool, and they meant it to be mixed originally. I mean, originally it was like Masters of the Universe was like a framework, and you can add your other figures into it. That was their original intent. And so, you know, take what you like, leave out what you don't. There is no solid, strict canon. We saw there's already all kinds of ones, and they already created a Masterverse that creates a whole entire, you know, multiple canons. So just do what you want. I mean, in one of the worlds the kids and I made when they were little, He-Man was the bad guy and Skeletor was the good guy. He-Man was this guy who was hogging all the power and used the cultic force to become He-Man, and Skeletor was just a guy that got in an accident and lost his face. And all his misfits were all the people that, were the outcasts of Eternia, that weren't the handsome, attractive people. And so we had the cool crowd of the good guys, which were actually the bad guys, and we had the misfits, which were the true good guys. In fact, my oldest, one of his favorite figures was Merman, and Merman was a good guy in his storyline. And he used to call him Fred Eckler instead of Merman. So, good old Fred Fish. So there you go. Mix it up, have some fun. Don't worry about it. See, Rick, I would believe that you like Gwildor if you spelt his name right. But being you spelled his name wrong, I think you're just messing with us, man. Rio was underrated. You are right. Hopefully, my Rio Blast little mini-series I'm making will bring some love to Rio Blast. So we shall see. Yeah, I don't know, Master Far. There's some cool things about Spectre. The one thing I really like about Spectre is the fact that Scott got him in there. I mean, I would jump at the chance to do a Hebrew figure. That'd be so cool. Sounds like Anti-Eternia. Yeah, it kind of did, except for I didn't know what Anti-Eternia was when I did it. But it was just kind of a fun throwback the kids and I did with that idea. I think part of it was because growing up, I was never part of the cool crowd kids. So it just kind of fit to have it so that all the cool kids were the bad guys, and the kids that were the misfits, the ones that, are tossed out. Like the guy with 3 eyes, the guy that has a fish face, the guy that's half beast, the lady with yellow skin, the guy with his face burned off. He's handicapped, right? So it just makes kind of sense. Let's see. Neil Hunter Hyde said, yeah, Rick, I think Gwildor is the only vintage figure I purchased from eBay. Yes, Ninjor and Blast Attack are also underrated. They are pretty cool figures. All right, anyway, I'm going to end this video. Looking for any final fun questions before I end it. Don't forget, Scott also managed to get his face on one of the classic Eternia Palace guards in the 2-pack. Yeah, I kind of wish we would have thrown some more heads in that 2-pack. I know he had 4 heads in there total, and we got Scott's head right there. And we got one other human head right there. And then we got 2 heads that were not human. So I kind of wish that they would have had more human heads in there. And granted, we're pretty smart. We were able to make our own human heads, but... And I don't think Scott actually pushed for that. I think it was more the 4 Horsemen surprising him with it. So I don't think that he actually was like, I want my face in there. I think it was more like a kind of a surprise thing of putting Scott's face in there, which was actually pretty cool. I mean, how cool would that be to have your own head on a classic guard? Not just one you made yourself with your 3D printer or had done with the Hasbro face head, but knowing that thousands of other people have your head on their figure. And I've thought about that when people buy like different movie figures and they have the actor's likeness. It's kind of weird to see, your likeness on a figure sold at a toy store. That's just so bizarre. I mean, granted, I've never experienced it, but just the thought of it would be weird. Make sure he's standing up before I put him back in the corner. Back in the corner for you, Scott. And I have to admit, I would have loved to have a job like Scott had. I've been so cool to be the brand manager and to bring this back into fruition. And these figures we got for Classics are pretty awesome. I think his only mistake was always interfacing with the fans. And I think if he would have just stayed in the shadows... Ugh. Every time I put him back there, he starts to fall again. Don't fall. Don't fall. Anyway, he would have stayed in the shadows. None of us would have knew who he was specifically, and we probably would have all appreciated who he was and what he did. Let's see. Unicron says, my only problem with Scott is he constantly is pooping on Origins. Yeah, I'm sure he has some resentment. I can understand that. Dragstore is like the human Road Ripper. I know, and it's so cool if they would have gave us Dragstore with a giant wheel in his chest that actually worked for classics. That would have rocked. All right, you guys. Scott was undertaking one of the best toy lines ever made. Yes, definitely. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see. Is this the same color? Wow, look at that. It's almost the same color as my computer I made. That's funny. It's so close. I'm going to try this again. Let's try this one more time. Ooh, the wind's so bright in here. Crazy. It looks so bright in the other room without all these lights around it. Oh well. You guys will see what it's all about when I make my stop motion video. It will all make sense. It will all make sense then. Yes, that is a lot of power swords. Yeah, most of them are customs though. All these little gray ones here are all the ones I made myself. So that's why there's so many here. So these were all my customs. So this is my custom too. So is this one. I tried to make one out of metal myself, and it just did not work. It looks so horrible. Look how rough this looks. Oh, I tried sanding it, and it just got worse and worse. And it's cool, it's metal, but it just did not come out as advertised when I printed it on Shapeways. Yes, Neil, you are correct, man. I know it does look like painted wood, doesn't it? It's kind of heavy though. Let's see. You can hear the difference. All right. Whoa. Ah, now you can see my chunky face. How do I switch the camera back? There it is. All right, you guys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.